Have you ever felt like there's a deeper truth within you waiting to be uncovered, but you're not quite sure how to access it? What if the answers to your most profound questions were already hidden inside, waiting for you to embark on a journey into your own mind? Carl Jung's Red Book isn't just a historical document, it's an invitation to explore the depths of your own unconscious and awaken to the transformative power that lies within. Jung's inner journey was one of intense self-reflection, where he ventured into the unknown regions of his mind and confronted his deepest fears, desires, and shadows. His Red Book is the map he created to chart this journey, and it holds timeless wisdom that speaks not just to Jung himself, but to all of us who seek spiritual awakening and self-realization. This video will guide you through the powerful lessons contained in Jung's journey lessons that can help you access hidden parts of yourself, unlock new potentials, and embark on your own spiritual path. What if the key to transformation and growth lies not outside of you, but in the exploration of your own unconscious mind? If you're ready to dive deeper into your own journey of self-discovery and spiritual awakening, hit the subscribe button and give this video a like. Let's unlock the mysteries of your unconscious mind together. Carl Jung's Red Book is not just a personal diary. It is a window into the deep recesses of the unconscious mind. It is a blueprint of Jung's journey into his own inner world, where he encountered symbols, archetypes, and the dark, unexplored parts of his psyche. What makes the Red Book so powerful is that it illustrates the process of individuation, a journey toward wholeness and spiritual awakening. In the Red Book, Jung boldly faced his fears, doubts, and shadows, allowing himself to confront the parts of his psyche that were most difficult to understand. Through his exploration of dreams, visions, and inner dialogues, he discovered the profound wisdom and insight that resided within the unconscious. For most of us, the idea of diving into the unconscious can be intimidating. We are conditioned to avoid our fears, our shadows, and the unknown. But Jung's experience teaches us a different way, one in which we do not run from our inner darkness, but instead embrace it, learn from it, and ultimately transform it into a source of power. In the Red Book, Jung found that our unconscious mind is not something to be feared, but rather a powerful ally on our journey of self-discovery. By embracing the unconscious, we open ourselves to the possibility of growth, transformation, and a deeper understanding of who we truly are. One of the most profound insights Carl Jung offers in his Red Book is the concept of the shadow. The shadow is the part of us that we repress, ignore, or deny. It consists of all the aspects of our personality that we find uncomfortable or unacceptable. This can include traits like anger, jealousy, or but it can also encompass parts of ourselves that hold immense power and potential. Jung realized that the more we try to deny or reject the shadow, the more it exerts control over us in unconscious ways. It manifests in projections onto others, in our fear of facing our own flaws, and in the ways we say. But what if we learn to embrace the shadow rather than fight it? What if we understood that the shadow contains not just the darkness, but also our hidden strength, creativity, and the wisdom we've been denying? Through his journey, Jung discovered that integrating the shadow is a critical step toward wholeness and personal transformation. When we begin to acknowledge and accept the darker aspects of ourselves, we begin to unlock the fullness of our being, allowing us to move beyond our limitations and experience true spiritual awakening. Embracing the shadow is not about being perfect. It is about accepting who we are in all our complexities. By doing so, we not only heal our inner wounds, but also unlock new potentials that were once hidden from view. In Jung's Red Book, the exploration of dreams and symbols plays a pivotal role in his inner journey. Jung believed that the unconscious communicates with us through symbols, images, and dreams languages that our conscious mind may struggle to understand. For Jung, dreams were not mere random thoughts. They were messages from the unconscious, filled with wisdom and insights that could help us grow, evolve, and heal. Jung's approach to interpreting dreams is transformative. He viewed dreams not as mysterious occurrences to be dismissed, but as deeply meaningful expressions of the unconscious mind. Each dream and symbol, no matter how obscure, carries a message that can unlock our inner potential. It's through these dreams that we can tap into the archetypes, the universal symbols that represent core aspects of the human experience, such as the hero, the shadow, the anima, animus, and the self. By engaging with these symbols, we can begin to integrate the unconscious mind into our conscious awareness. Jung's journey in the Red Book exemplifies this process. He approaches dreams as sacred messages, looking to them for guidance, healing, and self-realization. Understanding the power of symbols and dreams is a key component of spiritual awakening. As you begin to explore your own dreams, you'll find that they are not random, but purposefully. Each dream reflects your inner world and reveals hidden truths that can lead to profound personal growth. A major turning point in Carl Jung's journey, as chronicled in his Red Book, was his decision to confront the unknown aspects of his psyche. Jung realized that in order to experience true self-reliance, he had to face what was hidden deep within his own fears, doubts, and unconscious desires. This confrontation with the unconscious is not an easy path. It requires courage, for we must be willing to face the parts of ourselves that we'd rather avoid. The unknown is often seen as a threat, something to be feared and resisted. But for Jung, the unconscious was not an enemy. Instead, it was an integral part of the whole self, a part that contained wisdom, creativity, and potential waiting to be integrated. In embracing the unconscious, Jung found that the unknown didn't have to be feared. It was in this uncertainty that his spiritual awakening occurred. By confronting the darkness within, he stepped into a deeper understanding of himself and the universe. This was the process of individuation, the integration of the conscious and unconscious parts of the self to become whole. Jung's work in the Red Book teaches us that facing the unknown is not only necessary but transformative. The fear we feel in facing the unconscious is not a sign to retreat. It is an invitation to explore, grow, and discover the untapped power within us. In Carl Jung's Red Book, the concept of individuation stands as a central theme, a lifelong process of integrating the conscious and unconscious parts of the psyche to achieve wholeness. Jung believed that we are not born as fully realized beings. Rather, we spend our lives evolving, confronting the different layers of the psyche, and ultimately becoming more in touch with our true selves. Individuation is not about becoming someone else. It's about becoming more authentically you, embracing both the light and the darkness within. It's a process of integrating the shadow, facing fears, and confronting the archetypes that influence our behavior. As we engage with the unconscious and allow ourselves to grow, we align more deeply with our true essence. Jung viewed individuation as the path to spiritual awakening, and this journey is often filled with challenges, self-discovery, and revelations. Through facing the unconscious mind, we begin to unravel hidden aspects of ourselves that shape our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. These discoveries lead us to greater self-awareness and self-acceptance, the key components of spiritual growth. The goal of individuation is not perfection, but integration, the ability to embrace all aspects of yourself, including the unconscious, to live a more authentic, balanced and fulfilled life. It's through individuation that we break free from the limitations of our past and step into the fullest expression of who we are. Carl Jung's exploration of symbols and archetypes in the Red Book provides us with a profound understanding of how the unconscious communicates with the conscious mind. Jung believed that dreams, symbols, and archetypes are the language of the unconscious psyche, carrying deep meaning that can guide us on our spiritual journey. These symbols are not just abstract concepts. They represent the universal truths and experiences that shape the human psyche. One of the most powerful aspects of Jung's work is how he understood archetypes as universal patterns that reside within all of us, transcending culture, time, and place. These archetypes, such as the hero, the shadow, the anima, and the self, represent the fundamental elements of our human experience. They emerge in our dreams, thoughts, and behaviors, offering us insight into our inner world and guiding us toward deeper understanding. By paying attention to the symbols and archetypes in our dreams, we open ourselves to a profound journey of self-discovery. Every dream, every symbol is an opportunity to unlock hidden wisdom within the unconscious. Recognizing these symbols allows us to tap into our true potential and navigate life with greater clarity and purpose. If you're ready to explore the powerful symbols within your own dreams and begin unlocking the messages from your unconscious, make sure to like this video and subscribe to stay connected with more life-changing insights from Jung's teachings. Let's unlock the wisdom within. One of the most powerful and transformative concepts Carl Jung explores in the Red Book is the idea of the shadow self. The shadow represents the parts of us that we have repressed, denied, or refused to acknowledge. It holds the qualities we are unwilling to accept about ourselves, our fears, weaknesses, impulses, and darker desires. But what if I told you that this part of yourself, the one you've tried to hide, holds the key to your personal transformation? Jung understood that avoiding the shadow only strengthens its power over us. When we refuse to confront the parts of ourselves that we find uncomfortable or undesirable, they begin to manifest in our lives in ways we may not even recognize through unresolved emotions and limiting beliefs. The shadow operates in the unconscious, affecting our decisions, relationships, and actions, without us even realizing it. But here's the paradox. When we embrace the shadowing, we acknowledge and integrate it into our conscious awareness. We unlock a power that has been hidden from view. Confronting our darkest parts is not about shame or guilt. It's about accepting them as integral parts of our human experience. By doing so, we free ourselves from the unseen patterns that have kept us stuck, and we step into our authentic power. Carl Jung's exploration of the hero's journey in the Red Book unveils the profound psychological process that lies at the core of all personal transformation. The hero's journey is not just a mythic tale, it's a template for every soul's journey toward wholeness and self-realization. Jung believed that every individual undergoes their own version of this journey, where they are called to leave their familia, face their inner darkness, and ultimately return to their authentic self. The hero's journey is a cyclical process of growth that requires us to venture into the unknown, face obstacles, and confront fear and self-doubt. Jung's own inner journey mirrored this process's descent into the unconscious, the meeting with his own shadow, and his ultimate awakening to a deeper understanding of himself and the universe. The key to the hero's journey is the willingness to face challenges. When we are brave enough to face the unknown, we not only learn more about ourselves, but we uncover new strengths, resources, and wisdom that we never thought possible. This journey is about shedding the old versions of ourselves that no longer serve us and stepping into a new, more authentic version of who we are. If you've been resisting challenges or feeling lost in your own journey, this is the moment to embrace the hero's journey. By doing so, you can begin to unlock your true potential and transform the obstacles you face into opportunities for growth. Jung's Red Book is filled with alchemy, not in the traditional sense of turning lead into gold, but as a metaphor for spiritual transformation. Just as alchemists sought to purify base metals into something precious, Jung believed that the soul's journey involves transforming our inner struggles, pain, and darkness into profound wisdom and personal power. In this transformative process, pain is not something to avoid. It is the raw material for growth. Each painful experience, whether it be emotional suffering, loss, or inner conflict, contains the seed of transformation. Jung showed us that through inner alchemy, we can transmute these challenging emotions into strength, clarity, and authenticity. The very pain we wish to escape can become the catalyst that propels us toward a more aligned and empowered life. But transformation requires acceptance. We must be willing to sit with discomfort, embrace our pain, and allow ourselves to feel deeply. It's through this emotional depth that we can transmute the base metals of our psyche, fear, anger, grief into the gold of spiritual growth. By integrating these emotions and experiences, we unlock the true power that lies dormant within us. Jung's Red Book shows us that true alchemy occurs when we no longer view pain as an enemy, but as a teacher, guiding us to our most authentic self. By transforming our pain into power, we can step into a life filled with purpose, resilience, and inner peace. Carl Jung's journey in the Red Book was not just a personal exploration, it was a journey into the unknown, and that very theme holds a universal truth. In order to grow, we must step into the unknown. For many of us, uncertainty is something to fear. It's uncomfortable, unpredictable, and often terrifying. But for Jung, the unknown was not something to avoid. It was the doorway to transformation, a place where new possibilities and insights await. Jung understood that we tend to cling to what is familiar, to the things we know, as they provide a sense of safety and control. However, it is in the unfamiliar that true growth occurs. When we venture beyond our comfort zones and into the unknown, we challenge ourselves to face our fears and embrace the potential of what lies ahead. The unknown, while uncertain, holds within it the possibility of awakening to something deeper, more meaningful, and more aligned with our true selves. The very act of confronting the unknown requires courage and faith. It's about trusting that, even in the face of discomfort, life will unfold as it is meant to, and that by embracing uncertainty, we are opening ourselves to new realms of self-discovery, growth, and insight. Jung's work in the Red Book shows us that the unknown is not a place to fear. It is a sacred space for personal and spiritual awakening. When we stop resisting the unknown and allow it to guide us, we open ourselves to the infinite possibilities that await on the other side of fear. Carl Jung's concept of the collective unconscious is one of his most profound contributions to understanding the human psyche. In his Red Book, Jung explored how deep within the unconscious mind there exists a shared repository of archetypes, universal patterns of thought, behavior, and emotion that have existed across cultures and time. These archetypes, such as the hero, the shadow, and the animus, influence our personal development and shape the way we experience the world. Archetypes are not just abstract concepts. They are living patterns that guide our behaviors, emotions, and reactions in ways that we are often unaware of. They arise from the depths of the unconscious and, when understood, can offer profound insights into our personal journey. For example, the hero archetype calls us to confront challenges and strive for growth, while the shadow archetype compels us to face the hidden parts of ourselves that we may be avoiding. Recognizing these archetypal patterns in our own lives allows us to understand why we act in certain ways and helps us align with our true self. The collective unconscious reveals that we are not isolated individuals, but part of a shared human experience. By embracing the wisdom of these archetypes, we connect more deeply with our authentic path and gain clarity on our spiritual journey. Jung's work encourages us to explore how the archetypes within us shape our perceptions, relationships, and decisions. When we become aware of these universal patterns, we can transform them from unconscious forces to empowered tools for growth, healing, and self. Carl Jung's exploration of the hero's journey in the Red Book is one of the most captivating aspects of his work. The hero's journey is not just a mythic story or a tale of adventure, it's a psychological blueprint for personal transformation. Jung believed that every individual undergoes a personal hero's journey where they are called to face their deepest fears, embrace the unknown, and emerge as their authentic self. The hero's journey is a metaphor for the process of individuation, the journey of becoming whole by integrating the conscious and unconscious aspects of the self. Jung understood that we are often called to step outside of our comfort zones and confront challenges, doubts, and uncertainties. These challenges may manifest in many forms: personal crises, relationships, or creative block. Yet, it's through confronting these obstacles that we find our strength, resilience, and wisdom. In Jung's own life, the hero's journey was deeply intertwined with his inner exploration. He ventured into the unknown regions of his mind, confronting his shadow, engaging with archetypes, and transforming the fears and conflicts within. Through this process, Jung found that each challenge was an opportunity for growth, an opportunity to integrate parts of himself that were previously hidden or denied. By embracing your own hero's journey, you step into the process of individuation, where every challenge becomes an invitation to transform and evolve. Each obstacle you face can teach you something new about yourself, helping you to align with your true potential. The hero's journey is not just a path of external adventure. It is an internal journey that leads to self-realization and the full expression of your authentic self. One of Carl Jung's most transformative teachings from his Red Book is the concept of the integration of the shadow. The shadow, as Jung explained, consists of the repressed and unacknowledged parts of our personality. It is the dark side of our psyche, containing the emotions, desires, and traits we may refuse to accept or confront. But here lies the paradox. True transformation begins when we embrace the shadow, not when we avoid or deny it. Jung understood that the more we repress the shadow, the more it controls us in unconscious ways. The fear, anger, or even desires we avoid become powerful forces in our lives, manifesting as emotional reactivity, self-sabotage, or unresolved inner conflict. However, when we choose to integrate the shadow by acknowledging and accepting those parts of ourselves, we unlock our true power. Integration is the process of bringing these repressed parts into conscious awareness and aligning them with the whole self. It doesn't mean that we give in to negative impulses. Rather, it means understanding and embracing the fullness of who we are. The shadow holds hidden strengths, creativity, and wisdom waiting to be tapped into. When we integrate the shadow, we access a deeper level of self-awareness and move towards spiritual growth and authenticity. By embracing the shadow, we stop fighting against ourselves and instead become whole. We no longer live in fear of our own darkness, but understand that it is an essential part of our journey toward becoming the most complete version of ourselves. Transformation happens when we realize that wholeness isn't about perfection, but about the integration of all aspects of our being. In his Red Book, Carl Jung explored the profound power of symbols and archetypes, universal symbols that represent core aspects of the human experience. Jung believed that symbols are the language of the unconscious, and that by deciphering them, we gain access to hidden parts of ourselves. Archetypes, like the hero, the shadow, and the anima. Animas are not just abstract ideas, they are living forces within us, shaping our behaviors, thoughts, and emotions. Symbols act as bridges between the conscious and unconscious mind, revealing latent truths and deeper wisdom. Jung saw archetypes as universal patterns that transcend culture and time, existing in every person's psyche. They are expressions of the collective unconscious, a shared reservoir of human experience that influences our journey of self-discovery. These archetypes represent universal human themes: the quest for meaning, the struggle with internal conflict, the pursuit of wholeness. The more we pay attention to symbols in our dreams, visions, and even in our waking life, the more we can understand what is happening in our unconscious mind. For example, the shadow archetype can reveal the parts of ourselves that we have rejected, while the hero archetype can guide us through times of challenge and transformation. By interpreting these symbols, we can gain insight into our deepest desires, fears, and potential. Incorporating the wisdom of these archetypes into our lives can unlock new perspectives, creativity, and inner power. As we recognize the symbols within ourselves, we begin to see the map of our spiritual journey, the path that leads to true self-awareness and growth. The final step in Carl Jung's journey through the Red Book is not just it's about awakening to a deeper spiritual truth. Throughout his exploration, Jung encountered not just his own unconscious, but also his inner guide, the voice of his higher self that led him through darkness and into the light. This guide was always within him, but he had to be willing to listen and trust its wisdom. Spiritual awakening doesn't occur through external teachings or experiences. Alone, it happens when we are willing to face the deepest parts of ourselves and allow our inner wisdom to guide us. Just as Jung used the Red Book to confront his shadow, embrace the unknown, and integrate the unconscious, we too can use these tools to awaken our true selves. Jung's message is clear. The path to spiritual awakening is not about escaping the shadows or avoiding our fears. It is about embracing them, understanding them, and using them as tools for transformation. The more we confront and integrate the unconscious, the more we align ourselves with our higher purpose, gaining access to new levels of clarity, creativity, and personal power. By walking this path, we step into a life that is fully aligned with who we are meant to be. The journey may not be easy, but it is necessary for true spiritual growth. Trusting the inner guide within us allows us to unlock our fullest potential and step into the fullness of who we are. If you found this video inspiring and are ready to dive deeper into your own spiritual awakening, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. What part of your unconscious are you ready to confront? Let's continue this journey together.